Hey, hi, hello, good morning. I feel like we need to clean the camera. It's morning yap. It is Monday, January 12th, 2026. It is 8:19 a.m. I'm just getting used to that, saying, when I'm making videos, saying what day and time it is, so that we can keep track because things are moving fast and slow at the same time. I'll give a little, you guys can go to my Instagram if you would like, or if you're personal Facebook friends with me. I have been keeping up with most of the, I think that was the wrong color, the ICE stuff, and the protests in Minnesota on those two platforms, as well as posting an update at least once a day, like morning or night, sometimes both, yeah. Anyway, so that's where that is. This morning, in my scrolls, we're at this point, right, of like, it feels really hopeless. And it feels, I put this in my stories this morning, like it feels really, it feels very the same and yet very different. And it's hard to maintain the hopefulness and not get down in the dumps. And I am like, I know that this is happening, right? Like my logical brain is like, this is what's happening and this is what they want, right? This is what's happening and this is what they want. They want me to be scared and downtrodden. They want us to stop fighting. They want us to stop talking about it. And they want, they want Minnesota to back down so they can use an example, or they can make an example out of Minnesota, right? The big, bad, liberal state full of immigrants and LGBTQIA plus people and members of the global majority, and they can beat us. And the local government, after all that big talk of Walls and Fry and Mary Moriarty and like all of these people, has pretty much stopped protecting the people. I have never seen in real life people going door to door to kidnap people, right? That sounds like something straight out of a TV show or a movie. And it's happening here. And it started, it's been happening, but en masse, on video, over the weekend. And there's so much bad, right? And we have to sit in the bad. And yet, we also still need to have joy. And it's really, I wrote a Facebook post about this, and I will definitely be posting it on Instagram as soon as I get done with this. I'm going to actually make some graphics, which I haven't been doing. I've literally just been posting screenshots. Because it's not important, right? Like the graphics, like when something like this is going on, pretty graphics don't matter. They just don't matter, right? And so I'm looking for my, my bronzer, which I am not seeing. There we are. So yeah, we're in a tense kind of, I don't want to say a holding pattern, because things are happening and things are moving, but it does feel, it feels very surreal. It feels like there's a want to lay down, and I think we all need a break when we need a break. And I definitely took a bit of one over the weekend. And I don't think that's wrong, because we have to remember, something that I was talking to somebody about the other day is like, I constantly have to remind myself that my anger is not sustainable, right? My anger can get me to the activation, but the thing that is going to sustain the activation is not the anger. And so when I'm thinking about that, right, I have to find other ways to sustain myself, even though the like key emotion is anger right now. Hold on, I gotta find my bronzer. I mean, not my bronzer, my blush. And I think, you know, standing, this is what, 5 days later, standing at the precipice, knowing that, like, just like with George Floyd's murder and the riots and uprisings that followed, it's going to get worse before it gets better, right? And how do we cling to our hope and our joy and our love? Like, it is a renewable resource, but we must be intentional in looking for it. And that is my goal today. My goal today is to post about the album, to talk about the show I'm in, to get music sent for this other show, for Opera on Tap this weekend, to send out an email, to launch my album to my email list. I haven't even done that. And so, you know, it's surreal to carry on with quote unquote normal life. But I just want to, I guess, remind that, like, it's not normal life, because this has been, like, it is and it isn't, because this has been happening in the backdrop the entire time, right? Like, ever since ICE was created in 2003, and then like reinvigorated during Obama's presidency, like, this has been happening, right? Black people have been murdered for decades, state-sanctioned murders by police for decades, and it's always been happening. So to you know, like, yes, it's worse. Yes, it's more prevalent. Yes, it is on your iPhone screen. You know, I this video by Kata Music, like, says I've seen gore on iPhone screens. Like, yes, it is there, and our lives are paralleling it. It is happening within our lives. It is not happening on different planes, right? It is happening here and now in the midst of our daily, right? And I understand if you can't go to work. I understand if you can't focus on the other stuff. Oh, baby, what'd you do? Want me to fix it for you? But it is happening, right? And so I think part of it for me in my wholeness is that I'm no longer, first of all, I'm deepening my understanding of like what my purpose is, right? But second of all, I'm also like, it's going to continue to happen until it doesn't happen ever again, right? And that's the truth. That's what we're living through. And that's the world that, quite frankly, we've helped create, right? So anyway, I know this one wasn't like a, you know, let's get up and fight. But we will all be free. I know that in my heart. We will all be free. And, you know, I see things changing every single day, and I see how people are fighting, and I see the people gathering, and I see the music coming forward, and I see the art leading, and I just know, right? Like, I know that we will all be free, whether that is in my lifetime or not. I love y'all, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.